Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Tokyo Yo. My name is T. Today, I'm here to talk about the, I think, most expensive yo-yo I have in my collection. I had to sell a lot to get this, but I think it was worth it. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence about it, but I really do enjoy the thing. So we'll talk through it, and maybe my opinion will change by the end of this. And just, we're going to do whatever. We just go by the seat of our pants, I guess. Today, we're going to be talking about the Mythril Yoyos Flux. So the Flux is a bimetal yo-yo, obviously, from Mythril Company, which is now defunct. I found out right after I bought this that they were out of business, or they were not doing business anymore, which really stinks because I really like this thing. Well, I think I like it. It's weird. I don't know. We'll get into it. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. This is like the only time I have to film, so I just got to get this video out, so I apologize for that. It's always like the one moment I'm outside and... Anyway, this thing is a 7075 bimetal with these bimetal rings. As you can see, it's a glossy 7075. This yo-yo is absolutely gorgeous. Mythril does amazing things with gloss, which normally I don't like glossy yo-yos because they don't grind, and finger grind's one of my favorite tricks, but this, you can kind of get it to grind a little bit. We'll get into it. It's an organic yo-yo, as you can see, no step up here. There's just a little cut there right off this organic rim that goes straight down into the bearing and the response area, these clear pads, I suppose. It's got a beautiful acid watch. I think it's called Acid Reflux in Space. It's got like blues and pinks and purples and whites, like silvers, I guess, in there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. In the center here, you have this little nub that I know a lot of the Mythril yo-yos have. It's on a spike. Then around that, you've got like a little silver polished area. I don't know, that's probably just aluminum again. In the hand, it has a fantastic feel. Organic yo-yos always feel great. This feels like a little bigger than you might expect, but it feels really good in the hand. Also, that gloss really lends that like really nice hand feel to this. The look, oh God, I just can't stop thinking about the look. If this thing wasn't so expensive and premium, I would take it everywhere because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a perfect yo-yo to show off. And with it, I'm using Zipline. This is Smoothie. It looks like it's got some orange in there, but I don't think it does. It's actually just pinks and whites. It's just not picking up on my camera that good. But you've got the pinks and the whites in here, nylon and polyester mix. Works fantastic with the Flux. All right, let's throw it around and I'll tell you guys what I think about it. All right, so the Mythril Flux. Like I mentioned, this thing is really cool, but it's sad that Mythril's out of business because I've been trying to get my hands on one for a while, like trading with other people, because they are very, very expensive in Japan. This thing was about 150 or so US dollars. If you bought it from Spin Gear, which I did. Again, I didn't use my own money. Well, I did, but I had to trade and sell a bunch of yo-yos to get this. Really, really fun yo-yo. Now, the problem with it, well, okay, let's talk about something that's good. First of all, it's very, very smooth. It does have like a little bit of nail vibe, which is bothersome, but I think it's probably because of the gloss. It just kind of bounces off your nail. One problem I have with this, well, you're gonna notice that first of all, it's dead quiet. It barely makes a noise. You've got a little bit of weird bearing noise right now, which just started recently. And on top of that, let's see if it does it, it's responsive. It's been doing this for weeks and weeks. And no matter how much I play with it, it sometimes does it and it sometimes doesn't. And it's smooth enough that I don't want to take it apart and risk damaging it or untuning it. I know I'm a weirdo for not doing that, but it makes it really frustrating because sometimes I'm playing with this thing and I'm not having any problems, and then other times it'll shoot back to my hand without warning because of this weird bearing. And I think it's just like over lubed and I need to give it time. Also, it's been so humid in Japan that could be also a contributing factor, but whatever. Anyway, it's super, super powerful. This is like the epitome of a powerful bimetal. It's got tons and tons of power, which you might not expect for an organic, but it definitely can do just about anything that you would ever want it to do because of these extreme spin times. It has a really nice throw and hand feel because of the organic shape. I just stopped talking because I was like having fun with this thing. It's a really, really fun yo-yo because it is organic. It lends this like fun to it, even though it's like this super premium performance based bimetal. But really, like, the thing about the bearing really bothers me, but I think I just need to keep playing it. I would put another bearing in it, but like the bearing it came with is supposedly really good, so I don't want to like mess that up. I don't know, it's frustrating. Anyway, what was I talking about? Let's go ahead and talk about the tricks it can do, I guess. Let's see, first of all, whips. Let's see if it responds to me. Oh, it almost came back to me. That was scary. So you can see whips are no problem. So I'll do a jade whip slack, see how it, so you can see no problem there. Nice response, works fantastically well with the smoothie edition, which, you know, every yo-yo does, I don't know, so that's fine. It's not like super wide or anything, so you're not going to be able to like get any advantages when you're doing like Eli hops and stuff. You still have to just hit it on the string by yourself without any assistance. It's not like a remastered Galaxy or anything. The round shape makes it just kind of slide on and off the strings. Regions are just beautiful with the Flux because it has that nice smooth shape, so they just fly right off, which is just great. Grinds are a little bit of an issue because it is glossy. You see there I can do it because I was holding the string. If you try to do it like this, it doesn't really work as well. It runs out of spin really fast. But if you kind of hold the string and guide it, it's going responsive on me again. If you can hold the string and kind of guide it, it's very frustrating. The string just decides to ride up all by, yep. It's like semi-responsive, so I'm not sure when it's coming back or not. Which is not only annoying, but dangerous, because if it hits me in the face or it hits someone else or something like that when I'm playing around other people, you know, it's not nice to have a responsive yo-yo. And the thing that really bugs me about this too, is this thing was so expensive that I feel like it shouldn't have a problem like this. And that's even more frustrating to me in the end, is the fact that I don't know when it's going to do that, and that's scary. And I would email the company, but they're not in business anymore, so I'm not going to get any help anyway. Anyway, beyond that, it is a really good yo-yo, and I really like it. It's just that the bearing thing has kind of put a damper on how much I enjoy it, because I'm never sure how it's going to perform day to day. And yes, I know I could put a new bearing in, but I don't really have anything as good as the bearing it comes with, and I don't want to go through the whole process of cleaning a bearing right now, especially with a child in the house. Having like dangerous fumes in the house is not really safe. I could just I could just stop whining and just buy a new bearing and put it in. I mean, I know if it's a good yo-yo, then taking it apart shouldn't mess with it, but it does sometimes, and nobody can deny that even the best yo-yos will become untuned and become very difficult to tune after that. And there's always the chance, even if you're very careful, that you will strip the axle or strip the thread or something. I don't want to take this apart. And a lot of times what happens is I will take apart a premium yo-yo, and the axle will be locked in one side because that's how they got it smooth. And then I have to like take a wrench to it to get it out, or pliers, you know, or take it to a store where they do that. And it's like, well, what's the point if I'm just going to be messing up the threads anyway? Why would I even bother taking it apart? It just made me very paranoid about taking things apart, as all. Anyway, that had nothing to do with the Flux. That's just a general complaint. Actually, it had everything to do with the Flux. But anyway, is there anything else I need to talk about? I did grinds, I did widths, I did slacks. Finger spins are kind of okay. You can see here, well, it's trying to respond on me. They're all right. It's glossy, so it's not the best unless you have like a big fingernail, which I do not. That's all right. It kind of orbits around the little nub there. It's not a problem. I don't know if I could do transfers here. Oh, responsive again. All right, this review's over. I'm sick of fighting this responsiveness. It's very frustrating. I have a feeling it was getting better, and that's why I was making the video, but I think it got worse again because of the humid weather or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I got irritated. This is the first time I've ever made a video and left my irritation in. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's a really good yo-yo. It's very expensive, so that's one thing. I did want it for a long time, and I did save up for it by trading so many yo-yos away. So that is fine. I'm not complaining about that. It's more just that when you get a premium yo-yo for that much, for that high of a price, I expect that things like this should have been worked out. They shouldn't have crappy bearings in them. And I know there's like a certain margin of error you have to allow for everything, but if you're releasing something for that much money, you shouldn't have a problem like that in your yo-yo, and that really bothers me. So anyway, like, I know I could just fix this by putting another bearing in, but like I said, I've had experiences with companies, especially indie companies, locking their axles into one side so that you have to like force them out. And if you're gonna do that, then why take it apart to begin with, when every time you take it apart, you're risking the threads, even if you're careful. So why would I bother doing that when I'm not sure if it's even going to be fixable or not? So it's just really irritating to me. Anyway, the Flux is a fun yo-yo, and I wish it worked better. But your results may vary. Who knows, because they're not in business anymore, so maybe you won't even get a chance to throw one of these. I don't know. Anyway, I was planning to make this a much more positive review, but by the end of it, that bearing thing just bugged me so much that that's my final take on it. Have a nice day. I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. Sayonara.